we'll get situated.
Cool.
I'm gonna move this because I don't like seeing myself. Speeding. Okay. Oh my gosh. How do you feel?
Good.
Good. Should I take my shoes off?
Whatever you want to do.
My feet are kind of gnarly.
I just love socks.
I do too.
Fuzzy socks. They're just comforting.
It's
true.
Fuzzy socks are comforting.
Yeah, I mean, not to get to it too soon, but I just fell in love with socks when I was in the hospital. So I never the yellow socks you get at the hospital.
Yeah.
With the grips on the bottom.
Yeah.
I took every pair home.
No, what did you like about them?
I don't know. They're just snuggly. I don't know. They were just a comfort thing. So I just always have socks.
You
on.
always have socks
even in the summer.
Honestly, I sleep
but not
with
in bed.
Oh, I was just gonna say I sleep with socks on all the time.
Mm-mm. But I'm really bizarre. Yeah. There's little things.
That's amazing. Okay, we're gonna get into all of the things. All right. So, I want to get started.
Yeah, of course.
All right, cool. Hey guys, welcome to the Watch Your Block podcast. I'm Carrie, I'm your host. I'm here with Toria Conners.
Toria Conners.
Victoria Conners. Which do you go by more? Like Toria, Victoria?
I have a lot. Victoria is...
Cara only calls you Toria, right?
Yeah, Victoria's only work.
Okay.
Because I don't know, my mom, my family started Toria when I was little. But it's honestly gradually gone into Tor. Yeah, Cara and St. Max girls, they always called me Tori.
That's so interesting.
I played soccer with all of them.
Okay, so it was just Tori.
Yeah, so it was always Tori. And so I've had several different names.
Oh my God. Okay, well, this is a great kind of segue because obviously we're kind of talking about your journey today and your block. And so I wanted to kind of drop us into you as a kid and before you had your health complications. Yeah. Because I think it's really important to kind of highlight what was life like before epilepsy.
Oh my God, yeah, of course.
So could you just tell us a little bit about that?
It's insane. I literally wasn't sick until I was 22.
Really?
No colds, 21, 22. Whatever
Yeah,
it was.
yeah.
No, rarely took off from school.
Yeah.
I was so healthy. And when I was in kindergarten, I had Lyme disease.
Okay.
So I had that, and I had to get they thought it was bacterial meningitis.
Okay.
So then I got a spinal tap, and it ended up being Lyme disease.
Yeah.
And then that was kindergarten,
mm-hmm.
and then I legit wasn't sick until 2021.
Wow.
Never had any health issues. Went to the doctor maybe once a year.
Mm-hmm.
Never got the flu shot. I was just
right.
Not,
it was just your standard. So
and then I just woke up and just shit hit the fan.
Oh my!
Lack of a better word.
Yeah.
I apologize in advance for my thick accent. It gets thicker as I talk about this.
It's so funny because a few years ago I saw the show. Oh my God, what is it called? Mayor of Easttown.
Oh,
you know that show?
Yes, it's
and
insane.
You have that accent.
I know. And I grew up in Westchester.
Yeah. Actually, I need to give you more credit. That accent, they absolutely butchered those accents.
Kate Winslet went from a British accent to a Delco accent. Do you know how hard that has to be? Yeah. Think about it. That's nuts.
That is fucking nuts.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah. But anyway.
But yeah, my family's from Westchester. We're all from Westchester.
Yeah.
And I'm
Westchester
the
family.
only one that has a thick accent. I sound like I'm from I don't know, West Philly or Delco. And I think when I went down to school, it got worse.
Right, because you were at Alabama,
yeah,
right?
I went to Alabama, and I got so made fun of for my accent.
So when you were at Alabama, because I remember when you had your first surgery, I was in Italy, and so I was a junior, right? So you were
I was
sophomore.
A senior.
You were a senior, obviously. Yeah, you were a senior.
Mm-hmm.
So can you tell us a little bit about what that first experience was like when everything began?
So I'm a timeline girl. I know every
Me too.
single thing by a date. significance.
Yeah.
It was my junior year fall football season. I was in like just a 2-bedroom apartment, and I had my brother and 9 of his friends down for the weekend. It was Alabama versus LSU.
Wow.
And when I was at Alabama, like LSU was our rival. Like I didn't care about Auburn. Auburn sucked.
Okay.
Like LSU was like the biggest weekend. I mean, tickets were going for like $1,500. But they came down, and it was just like, why? Like I didn't sleep for 24 hours. And it was so much fun. But the following Tuesday of that weekend, I was just at my friend's apartment, writing a paper, watching Friends. And I'll never forget it. I get up and go get a glass of water. And then I walk around, I put a glass of water on the island. And then I was just out. And my friends were both in their rooms, and they ran out, and they were just like, what happened? Like, I didn't know what happened, but I had woken up. And then I go in obviously the ER comes and ambulance comes, and I like didn't realize it was a seizure until like 10 minutes after, when not even 10 minutes, like once they got there, because it is like your body is just frozen. It's like a tree trunk. Like you can't move your body.
Yeah.
And my tongue was bleeding. Like the sides of my tongue was bleeding because I just like convulsed.
Because you clenched down.
No, you convulse. Like you're like
okay.
You're biting on your tongue.
Right.
And then I guess so that was my first seizure. And I went to the hospital. Doctor was like, it's common you can just have one seizure and be fine for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And got an MRI. Everything was good. Came home. That was November. Went through school, whatever. Came home for Christmas. Then went back in January of 2014. So first seizure was 2013.
Yeah.
In November. Following was January. Mid-January, I was at the gym with my friend, and came in the car. I was just like looking up, and then my vision just went like black. I was like, I can't see anything. I was like, Allie, I cannot see anything. Like, you need to pull over. Done. I said pull over.
Yeah.
Don't remember anything from that point. So then I slowly woke up. I actually owe you money, Allie, for this. I pissed all over the freaking car.
Yeah.
In the middle of the seizure.
That's a byproduct.
That's
of
one of
having
them.
seizure,
that's the only one I did.
Yeah.
Ironically, one I only had, like I was in a cotton car seat and peed all over her car.
Yeah.
And that was my second one. And after that, my parents were like, "Get home.
Yeah.
We're getting you into a doctor, neurologist somewhere." And that January 2014, I was officially diagnosed with epilepsy. I was put on meds.
Yeah.
The whole gambit. And at first the meds worked. One of them, it's called Vimpat, people. I'm going to you're going to learn a lot. Like, let's just be serious.
Amazing.
Vimpat, if anyone's on this medication, it makes you very angry. Like, that's the one. It could, some people, it works great. Like, I know a couple people that are on it now. And they've been seizure free for years, but one of the side effects is it makes you very angry and like irritable and like, bitch, I'm already like that. Like, I don't need another.
You're already a spitfire.
Yeah, so I don't need another. But I was on that medication for a while, and then I was good for 11 months. Didn't have a seizure for 11 months.
Wow.
So January, my second seizure was January. I didn't have another seizure until December.
Of the following year?
No, of that year. Like, it was like...
I mean, of that year.
Yeah, of that year.
January.
I was driving home from Alabama for Christmas break. Cole Steidel was driving me. And we stopped at a gas station in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Wow. Chattanooga.
And he went to get me a Gatorade, came out. I opened the Gatorade, and I was like, Cole, it's coming.
Like, this time you knew.
Yeah, I knew immediately. I was like, it's coming. I put the Gatorade down, and I was like, prepare. But I hadn't prepared him. Like, honestly, at this point, not many people knew I had epilepsy because I was good for 11 months. Like, why even talk about it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So had that seizure. Then went, Christmas break was great, whatever. But went to go see the neurologist, and he said, once you have a seizure on a medication, like, it's smart to just get it on another one. And I was like, okay, like, you do you, like, tell me what to do, whatever.
Right.
So I get on another medication, and spring semester junior year, it just went fucking wild. Like, I went back to Tuscaloosa, and I had at least one full seizure every Monday. I love Mondays. They start my week, but like every Monday.
Literally
on the spot. And I was just like, this is freaking nuts. But
the anxiety that must have caused of like
on a Sunday. So
knowing
you think some people are afraid of Sunday scaries? Are you kidding?
Yeah.
I was sober, and I'd be like, oh, okay, tomorrow is the day. I had like 7 in a row on a Monday. But in between that, like, as like my epilepsy was, like, as I was continuing in the process, like in the issues, my epilepsy was like constantly changing. It's like very,
in what way?
It's crazy. There's so many different types of epilepsy. Like, it's just
really,
oh my God, it's one of the most complex disease. I don't know what.
Yeah.
So my first Monday seizure, that's what I used to call them. My first Monday seizure, I'll never forget it. I was actually like, what was I doing? I was sending my sister's, I stole her Clarisonic freaking wipe thing, or
what's a Clarisonic?
Face wash, like a face wash brush. Yeah. She found out, so I had to go to UPS, and UPS was legit. Like, my house was less than a mile away from the football stadium. Mm-hmm. Ironic, right? Mm-hmm. And right in front of my house was the main bar of of my campus of Alabama.
Okay. Where just everyone kind of goes.
Yeah, I mean, my house was an absolute shithole.
Yeah,
like, shithole. Sorry, Mom and Dad. It was.
Yeah.
And my where am I going? I forget a lot of things. That's another thing. You can keep this in. My medication. Mm-hmm. How much medication? I have a lot of trouble word finding. Okay. So, like, I'll be in the middle of a sentence, and I'm like, I want to finish the rest, but like, where's the? It just literally
can't find it.
It literally just drops out of my head. Like,
yeah,
it's the craziest thing. But that's also a symptom of my stroke. Mm-hmm. Since that happened, that was just like freaking my burn. Like, we'll get to that.
I'm like not shocked, but I think what is like worth mentioning is how accepting you are of like what you've been through and where you are and the things that you deal with. Like, I feel like that's such a strength of yours to say, you know, this is something you tell everyone, like, hey, this is something that you may notice about me. Yeah. And you're at ease with it, or you like,
I've seen
you've seen it, right? Yeah. And I'm sure there's a lot underneath that, but
I attribute that to 2 things. One is it was easy for me to accept it, and like, it's very foreshadowing. I never got my license, which is absolutely wild. And
I remember this.
In high school, I used to have dreams. Like, one dream I had, I killed my sister. Like, I have really bad like ADHD, and I hate that. Like, you know, that's like
it's charged, whatever.
It's
but
so common. Like, now I feel like people, like, it's just like
overprescribed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone
Everyone has some form. I mean, look at us on our phones. Like, it's not at the end of the world. But I didn't trust myself with the car. I'm like, people die in cars. Like, I really didn't. And I'm not like, it's not like I was like anxious or I made it a thing, but like, and also the year I was to get my license, my mom was in radiation for breast cancer. So I was like, I like loved going with her to radiation all the time. And I was like, I would rather like be in the car with you.
Yeah.
And like,
yeah.
So that is a tribute to like me accepting it and also not going into a like deep hole. Because if I knew what it was like to be that independent and it be stripped from you, I don't know if I would have been as positive or whatever
Yeah.
it is.
So you think that there was something inside you that knew this and was like,
I don't know. It was
some
just
sort of
weird,
like a message,
yeah,
like
a weird
feeling. Yeah.
foreshadowing. Because like, I mean, my friends are always like, dude, thank God you didn't get your license. And I'm like,
Right.
I was like, yeah. And then the other thing is, oh my God, what did he say? Bill, in the beginning, like, you know, Billy like came up, like he doesn't talk much, but when he talks, like you listen. And one of the things he said, I forget what it was. Oh my God, it's in my book.
Take your time.
I want to make sure I get it right because
Yep.
it was so striking. I believe it was on the lines of, there are two things you can control in life: your outlook and your attitude. And I was like, damn, okay. He's like, you don't have much control over your life now, but with everything going on now, you have two things to control: your outlook and your attitude. And that like,
I have full body chills.
like that literally slapped me in the face.
Especially probably because you're going through it
Yeah.
in the moment. And so it was the timing too,
Yeah.
right? Like I can put this into action right now because there's such a loss of control, I'm sure.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, like you have literally no, like the only thing you control is like your meds.
How has that changed you in terms of like control and your relation to control? Like you mentioned, your attitude and your outlook are two things that you can control. Are there other things in your life that like you felt like you couldn't control because you have epilepsy and you've dealt with this loss of control has helped you in other areas of your life?
Like with epilepsy, it's not just like epilepsy. It's not just seizing. Like it's really not like I have to go to the mall, and I've just, for instance, when me and my family go to the mall,
Yeah.
I have to like walk in there and be like, okay, if I were to have one, where would I go? Like in my head, I'm just like, I just have to analyze being in public and just making a plan in my head before like we go.
Anything.
And the mall is like honestly one of the worst places in the world. Like the new mall with like all of the.
But I would assume you really like it.
Oh, I love the mall.
Like
but
you love going to the mall.
But it's very it's just a lot. Like my eyes, it's just a lot. And then the days where I'm actually having a good day, I forget to just like I kind of just am like, this is good, I'm having a good day, but I don't take advantage of them enough because the bad days come out of nowhere.
Right. So it's like, how can you
like
know?
it's just like they're so like I'll be good for 3 months and then something happens. And the other thing is it's invisible. Like,
so happy you brought this up.
so like in 2015 when I had my surgeries, I shaved my head, and people thought that like a lot of people thought I had cancer. Like a lot of people thought I had cancer.
Really? Yeah.
So I think like when you look at me, like you do not think.
Nope.
You don't think I'm sick.
You don't exactly. Yes.
Like it's a completely invisible sickness.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, there are people that like have epilepsy that are like, you know.
Right. But if I'm sitting across from you having a conversation, like we could just think that this is two girls, just two girly pops having a combo about life.
A combo about
right. You would never
shit.
know the things that like you've struggled with and the things that you currently have to take into account on a day-to-day basis just to like live. Period.
It's like emotional, like just. I'd never think about how those things like are emotionally exhausting.
Yeah.
Like even getting ready for, like I'm going on a business trip tomorrow, and it's just like those little things. Like I need to tell my boss, like if the lights are bad, I have to leave. If I have anything, I'll let you know. If I see anything, I'll let you look. It's just like little things like that. It's takes over your whole like life. I mean, and medication, that's like a full-time job. I mean, I take 9 different medications and an overall of 17 pills a day. Wow. So like all of those just attacking my body. It's just like I don't have the energy.
Right.
Like, I don't have the energy. This is what makes me sad is like I was 22, whatever it was. And I look at my life pre-epilepsy versus post. And it's like I'm a completely different person. Like it is crazy. Like
in what ways?
My junior year, I went to college. I was like, I just want to go far. Like, I want a big football school. Don't want Penn State. Sorry. But, like, I only applied to SEC schools. Like, I wanted to experience something new. I wanted to I made new friends from all over the country, and I didn't know a single soul going to Alabama. And it was like I was very confident. Like I didn't.
You weren't worried about it.
Yeah, I wasn't worried about anything. Like I was just very confident. I knew I was like I can meet people. Like I'll be fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
Never got homesick. Nothing.
Yeah.
Since 2015, I mean, the level of which my life like has just changed. Like I mean, I wanted to live in New York.
Yeah.
I internshiped in New York in college, and I was just like I want to move to New York. I wanted to work for the NFL. Like, that was just like
that was your direction. That was where you were headed. Yeah.
And then just like my life just turned completely upside down. And I was able to go to school and like build relationships with people I didn't know. I made new friends. And like now I struggle with like having the confidence to text my friends. Like having the thinking like with epilepsy and somebody that has to be so dependent, like the feeling of being a burden on people. And it's, oh my God, everyone in my life is like, you're not a burden, like enough, but I mean, the whole situation changes because of me. Like a whole dinner could change because of me.
Yeah.
So it's like, I didn't think I would be upset at this part, but the thought of being a burden is like what my family's been through. I do say like, thank God it was me because like I'm a worrier. Like my sister gets a cold. I'm like, oh my God. Like, but with me, I'm like, yeah, I'm having a stroke. Like, whatever. It's more about how I treat people, like how it affects everyone else. Like to me, honestly, my mom says like, I have said, I think when someone in your family is like chronically ill, I think it's worse for the people watching and for the people that are sick. Like sometimes I just feel, not that like I guess that relates to the burden, but I just, like honestly the craziest part is my family, because it all happened in college at Tuscaloosa in Alabama. My family didn't see me have an actual seizure until I came home my senior year after like I started seizing like crazy. Like
how did that change things for you?
My mom, like my family was just like, holy shit, like
we can't believe this is what has been going on.
They had never seen it. Like and honestly it's serious. It's like I only had it for like I guess like a year.
Right.
So
at this point.
It's not that crazy, but to me now, looking back now, it's like freaking nuts. Like, but that's definitely the things I struggle with are building relationships, because honestly, it's just like exhausting.
Of course. You're waking up in the morning at negative 3,000. And so the first step is to get from negative 3,000 to 0 or neutral, which is taking your meds, like thinking all of the things through of like, okay, what do I have on my schedule today? Maybe like if I go down today, you know, or if I have a seizure today, let me think through those situations and mitigate. Okay, I did that. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, you know? And so like when you say these things, like the energy it takes, and I struggle with, I went from this person who could fly across the United States in a state where I don't know a single fucking person, and I got all the confidence in the world that I could make friends with a wall. That person to, wow, I'm having anxiety even texting my very closest friends.
Oh my God, yeah.
It can feel like two different persons, but I think that you are the same Toria who was here. It's just you who you are here is the energy. You have so much more to do, right?
Yeah,
and that's the energy that it like takes to get here. Yeah. But you're still who you are, who can make fucking friends with a wall, who can like sit here with me, you know, in this podcast room and have like a really honest and beautiful conversation that other people are listening to. Yeah. Like, I think that's like your power. That's the thing that hasn't changed. Oh. And I think that that's probably like changed so much over the years too. Like I can't imagine going through all of this and then on top of it, trying to like live a life of somebody like in your 20s and kind of like keep up with the normal milestones of dating and stuff. What's that been like for you?
Well, I honestly look back at it like about around like 2018, 2019, like for the Super Bowl in 2018, I was still living at home. But I moved out in the end of 2018 and moved into the city. And that year, like 2019, was probably the best year of my 20s.
Really?
Like I think it was around the time yeah.
When I came out?
Yeah, you came out.
I
had a seizure that day.
the day I came
Yeah,
out?
because I was voting. I'll never forget it. I had a seizure as I was voting.
At the voting booth?
Oh, at the voting booth. I'm like signing the whatever, filling it out. I'm like, Ma, I scream, Mom.
Yeah. Is there a
Mom,
connection
it's
to
coming.
like? Is there a connection to, or is there patterns or similarities like when you know it's coming on, like things that trigger
Honestly,
it?
like stress triggers it. So like a lot. Oh, like so I'm stressed every day.
Yeah.
Lack of sleep. I mean, if I don't sleep, if I get like with my meds, I could take an Adderall at 3:00 in the afternoon, take my epilepsy meds, and just
Be
out.
zonked. Wow.
Like I cannot take. I have to be in my home when I take my meds. Like I could never take my meds like at dinner. I want to make it home.
Wow. Because it knocks you out that much.
It knocks me within an hour. I mean, I'm out cold.
Well, I could imagine
That's
sleeping...
honestly pretty lit. Like when you think about it, like it's really like my whole family's like struggling with insomnia. And I'm like,
yeah.
like that's the one thing I got.
Yeah.
Like if that's anything positive, like I can sleep.
There it is.
But there are some nights I don't get full. Like I don't get like, but I get almost 8 hours a night.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm very regimented. I mean, I go to bed at 8:30 every night, and I'm up at
That's right.
5:30, anywhere from 5:30 to 6:30. But lack of sleep. Obviously, if I miss meds.
Yeah. Is it crowded? Anything about crowded spaces, or does that kind of just contribute to anxiety?
Really go to crowded spaces.
Yeah.
Because like crowded spaces are concerts. I can't go to concerts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I can, but I mean, I went to Harry Styles. I was sitting down the whole time.
Yeah.
And everyone was standing up. But
Right.
I was sitting down because the lights were freaking insane. People are like you. Like I mean, I really don't. Like I will be honest. Like I really don't understand like why the lights are so insane at these concerts. It's like at some point, like Jesus, like do we really need all of those? Like
It doesn't do that much for me either, honestly.
Not for like even with somebody without epilepsy. It's
Right,
like,
right.
Like first off, I don't know how celebrities don't have epilepsy with the amount of cameras and then things they go to. I mean, it's like I can't even watch like E.
Are there any like things that cause epilepsy
Oh, that's a good
to
question.
develop?
I have like so I believe 60% of people diagnosed with epilepsy don't know the cause.
Okay.
So I don't know my calls, but I kind of do. Like I think when a week before the boys came down from my first seizure, I was out at the bar right in front of my house. It just rolls off my tongue.
Yeah.
And I was just like standing in the front, and a football player was there. And I mean, he didn't know who I was or anything, but it was a crowded bar, and he was like going to turn and hug someone, and he freaking knocked me in the back of my head, like right where it is. So I mean, and he's a hefty guy, like running back, won't name names, but I mean, he nailed me in the back of my head. So seizures can be caused by like any little, like a concussion or a little hit to the brain, hit to the head. So that could have caused it. A lot of people ask me if it was my if it was my Lyme's disease, and I'm like, I don't think it would come out like now.
What is the function of your body seizing? Like, what is your body trying to do? Is it trying to protect you? Is it trying to heal something? Like, do you know like what?
No, I'll explain it to you. It has nothing to do with an epilepsy. I mean, a seizure is an abnormal brain, like it's abnormal brain activity.
Okay.
So there are so many types of epilepsy, and seizure it's really like a seizure disorder or syndrome.
Yeah.
When I have like 3 different types of seizures.
Okay.
So I could go back to my Monday seizures in college. My first one, I was sending my sister the Clarisonic back to her, and I was at UPS, which is right across the street from my house, right across the street from the bar, and I'm signing the receipt at UPS, and the second I got that pen that you sign on the little thing, I was seeing things that I had never, like it was freaking wild, and I was like I call it like a kaleidoscope.
Okay.
So I was like, it was pretty small. And then I was like, I can make it home. Like, I'm going to make it home. By the time I got to the street, I was like wobbling, and I walked into the middle of the street. I couldn't see.
Yeah.
I was having, like, it fully took over my vision. It was just a kaleidoscope. Like those things that like, that's what it was. And I got across the street, people were beeping. Like I got to the tree, like in front of my house.
Yeah.
And fell. Don't remember. I touched the tree. Don't remember anything after that. And I woke up in an ambulance.
Wow.
2 girls were walking by. Like house is right before campus.
Yeah.
Right before so a lot of people just walk up and down our street. And two random girls called 911, stayed with me, and then I was in the ambulance by myself.
Yeah.
And I couldn't, I never like knew who they were, but obviously I wish I did so I could like thank them. But so that was bad, obviously. But then like that week, I'm in one of my sports management classes, and my the teacher I actually really loved. She was great, and she just like at the beginning of class, she said like, Victoria, can you come see me after class? And I was like, oh my God, I hate when teachers do that.
Like
so
instant anxiety.
Like, it's like when my mom texts me, call me. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
I'm calling you right now.
And she said, it's fine. I was like, okay. And she said, how are you doing? Like, I was on the road when you walked. I was driving and you walked into the middle of traffic.
Wow.
And I was like, you were on the road? And she was like, yeah. I was like, I was having a seizure. Like, I was having the beginning of my seizure.
Yeah.
And then I went into a full seizure. So
oh, really? So that kind of like triggered
so that's
it.
like it's called an aura.
Right.
So my seizures begin with, I can warn people. So I get an aura. So I know exactly when they're coming. I can prepare you.
Yeah.
If I were to ever, I do. I mean, I've had seizures with friends where I'm having one screaming and they're like, I'm like, guys, it's going to be okay.
You're the one calming everybody else
my
down.
body's like starting to convulse. And I'm like, it's fine. You can just time it. Like, I'm teaching people how to do it.
Wow. That's pretty wild. Like, that's incredible.
Like when I had one at in the city at Georgia on Pine. We went to dinner with for Jenna's birthday in February. I think it was like February 2022. I forget when it was. Honestly.
Okay.
And we were waiting outside, and I looked to Maddie, because that's like the person.
That's the person. Yeah.
I looked to Maddie, and I was like, Matt, I'm having a seizure.
Wow.
Like, I just know it. And I just ran to the corner and laid on the ground. I was like, someone give me a purse. I was like, someone get me my meds. They're in my purse. And then
you were lights out.
No, I remember, I mean, it was such a bad seizure. So I will explain to you. When I have a seizure, I have two things that happen.
Okay.
I have a kaleidoscope that's taking over my vision. But I also hallucinate like a big black thing coming at me.
Okay.
So like, do you remember Twitches?
No, I never watched it. Oh
my God, Twitches. It was the sisters.
Yes. Yep. Tian's Mare.
Yeah, and they had a movie on Disney Channel, and it was called Twitches, and they were witches, and they were trying to fight the darkness of clouds. And these clouds like would come like attack people, and they were black clouds.
From this, it sounds like it's this angle.
So I literally was like,
and so that's the second thing that happens is that you have this.
Like those two things happen. So, but when that happens, I'm literally like going like this,
trying to get away from it.
I know it's nothing, but just when that would happen, so I would have that. But sometimes, like that happens and then it just stops. Other times that happens and I go into a full seizure.
Okay.
So like the night of Georgia on Pine, they called Maddie and Hannah, everyone called 911. And by the time the ambulance came, it was gone. I could say I never convulsed. Like just my legs went, but that's like, we believe that's more anxiety. That's not. Because, so my type of seizure, it's called focal epilepsy.
Okay.
It's when your seizure begins in one part of your brain. And that's the first. It's the focal part of the seizure. And then the next step is it goes to the rest of your brain. When it goes to the rest of your brain, it's a generalized tonic-clonic. Tonic-clonic means you're convulsing.
Okay.
It's your whole brain at once.
Yeah.
So the people that have generalized epilepsy, it's their seizures just happen all at their brain right away.
Okay.
So I'm lucky enough to where I know, because it starts in one part of my brain.
Right.
To then
take this quick steps or do what you can.
See, some people are like, you're lucky that you're lucky, but I'm like, I am, but like, am I? Like, I am like for health wise, like I can tell someone to call the ambulance or something.
Sure.
Or I can time them, but at the same time, I'm like,
yeah, it's kind of like the question, like, do you want to? Oh, I'm luckier because I know.
Die in 10 seconds.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly. Do I want to know how I die? Like, probably not. Yeah, I'd probably not. What are the certain things? Because like we're talking about the things that happen when you have the seizures. Like, what are the things when you're not having the seizures that like you do that can help you? Like, are there tools that you have found over the years that really help with your anxiety or with depression? I don't know if you have depression, but
like,
TV,
like, it's just
like trash TV,
like all TV. Like, that's just like Friends. I mean, Friends got me through. Like, I
Dude.
should really go. yeah, friends got me through all of college. Like the last semester, like
yeah,
it's to the point like it was like so part of my life that like I haven't watched it since Matthew Perry died.
Yeah,
like that's how much like I can't even believe like he like I don't want to watch like it's like I was watched that semester where my Monday seizures. So the other thing is, you know how they like I explained to you where like I could have just the focal seizure, and not the full, so I wouldn't convulse.
You wouldn't have the catatonic.
And I'm fully aware.
And you're fully aware.
I'm fully aware. Once it goes to the whole brain and I'm convulsing,
you're out.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Out cold.
Yeah.
And the longer you're out, you're not getting oxygen to your brain. So that's why, like, if it's under 2 minutes, you're good. But anywhere, if it's like you're not getting oxygen to your brain, so some people lose brain activity.
Right.
That tissue dies.
Right.
Because you're not getting any oxygen. But so I should get into the technical part of all of this because
whatever you want.
I'm just like I'm on that track.
Yeah.
So I had my Monday seizures in college, but I had like 7, I believe. But in between all of those, I was having my partial seizures, which are just my auras. So I was in that house with it was 7 of us. And when I tell you my senior semester, spring semester, I was on this green couch watching Friends for 3 months, and every day I would just have these partial seizures. So like, people didn't even know. Like, because my roommates didn't even know I was having them because I could tell the difference.
Okay.
Like, I could tell that I'm like, okay, this is just...
Wow.
Like, I could tell the difference if it was going to be a full one or if it was going to be just
and
a partial seizure.
Maybe again,
and that's like even when I'm down the shore, like, you know, like sometimes it happens and I'm like, no, guys, I'm fine. And I'm just like standing there having an aura.
Right.
But I'm like, no, it's not going to turn into it full. Like, I know. So
because it goes back to that burden thing again. Like, it sounds like you don't want to burden people. Like, you don't...
Well, it's like a lot. Like, I know, like, I mean, like, listen, I don't get that's the other thing. Like, I don't ever want to, like, victimize myself. Like, that was, like, a mental thing for me.
Oh, I don't think you... I think that is...
So, like, that's what I'm saying.
The last thing on earth that you do.
Wanna, like, but I never, like... I remember people are like, are you offended if somebody says, oh, my God, it, like, looks like you're having... Like, you know, it's like...
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like,
looks like you're having a seizure.
Yeah, like, but like, when you came out, and it was hard for us to... Not hard for us, but you're adjusting to, like...
Gotta adjust. Don't say that's so gay.
Don't say that's so gay.
Right.
And I said, like, people will randomly say, like, oh, it looks like you're having... Like, about a random person.
Right.
Like, it's part of the... Yeah. It's part of our lingo.
Right.
And same was like, if you jumble your words. Like, I remember Maui was like...
Gotcha.
You look like you're having a stroke. Not to me. She said it to Kat. And then she...
Kind of was like, oh my God.
She clocked it, and she, like, apologized to me.
Yeah.
That's part of, like, our language.
Yeah.
Like, I would never...
It's also part of growing, right?
Like, take offense to that.
Yeah.
Like, that's like a phrase. Like,
yeah. And part of growing and I just think it's part of growing too. And like we get to give people our friends and the people that love us the grace to like grow with it and adapt and adjust and change and grow and all that stuff. But yes.
So I keep going back, but
so good.
I had my Monday seizures, a couple of and then spring break. I went home and I never went back to school. I was supposed to graduate, never went back. I had my roommate, Suzanne Sabia, was one of my roommates, and she packed up all my shit.
Wow.
And sent it home.
Wow.
I had like boxes of all my clothes.
Yeah.
And spring break, I go into the hospital, and I go in for a doctor's appointment with my neurologist, and he says, I think it's time to see if you're a candidate for surgery. And I was like, the fuck? I was like, what surgery? Like I had no idea. He was like, brain surgery. I was like, wait, what? And I said, listen, if this could stop, I would get brain surgery tomorrow. Like, let me know. Like, what do we do?
So there wasn't a fear there?
No, not one.
Really?
I did not fear surgery. Not one iota.
Why?
It's like, I would rather have surgery than go through this. I mean, it's still freaking happening. That's like honestly why I wanted to do this, because it's so complicated. Like, people don't realize, like, because of my partial auras, like at Alabama, I was having anywhere from 10 to 50 auras a day. So I was having, like, those are still, like, my doctor explained it. He goes, you might not be convulsing or losing consciousness. Like, your brain's still getting oxygen, but every seizure is brain damage. He's like, so all of these seizures that you're having, like,
every aura, right?
It's still technically a seizure, but he's like, every partial seizure you have is still damaging your brain.
Got it.
So I was like, oh shit! Like, then I damaged my brain like thousands of times in the last 3 months.
So it was less about the fear and more about I'll do whatever it takes to get better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
And so I was like, let's do it. And the next day, he got me a bed in the epilepsy center.
Wow.
Epilepsy unit. Well, I like went home, whatever. Maybe the next day, he got me a bed in the epilepsy center unit.
Yeah.
And I was admitted for, like, he said, I want you to, so you're admitted. You got electrodes on the surface of your brain. On the surface, like on your hair.
Yeah.
And they take you off your meds slowly, but you get off your meds and see if you have seizures, basically. Like you just get, we want to know, and he's like, we want to locate
baseline,
them.
right?
Yeah, he's like, no, we want to locate them, and we want to know exactly like where they're coming from, how deep they are. So I mean, I had like, I think 40.
Is it
40
like an
things.
EKG or an EEG?
EEG.
EEG, yeah.
So I had a permanent EEG for, not permanent, but EEG for, I think it was like 9 days.
Dude,
that's like nothing.
I actually had an EEG once when I was a kid, when I was like, I think like 12, 10, 11 or 12, because they thought that I had a petit mal seizure. And so I had to go in and get an EEG. And it was the fucking weirdest thing. I looked absurd.
Oh, it's absurd.
Like hundreds, maybe like 50 electrodes on your head.
On your head.
And they put this like weird lotion. I don't know if
it's
they
like
did this. Yes, it's like glue.
It's glue. And the only way you can take it off is with coconut oil.
Oh, really? Oh my God, I wish I fucking knew that.
So
you had this on for 9 days straight.
9 days straight, dude. That's nothing. So I did this for 9 days straight, and I had like 100 partial seizures over the span of time, but they were like, we still want to see full seizures. He's like, you need to have at least 3.
God damn it!
Before you leave. So I was off med. They took me off my meds. Then they sleep deprived me because I hadn't had my full seizures, and they were like, I had 1, I think, and they're like, we need you to have 2 more, so we're gonna sleep deprive you, and then we're gonna force you to have a seizure. So they put strobe lights in front of my eyes.
No way.
Yeah, I mean they have to figure it out.
I know, but like, fuck.
So when I tell you the strobe lights, dude, literally a fucking light flinch. Like my brain went freaking nuts. Out cold. And they were
they're there, right? Like they're they know what to do.
I have oh my God, my nurses were everything. Like my nurses were my best. Like when I would go back to the hospital, I would go visit my nurses.
Oh man.
But
this is wild.
Oh, dude, it's wild.
So they sleep deprive you.
So then I had all those seizures, and they're like, okay, this is enough. This is enough information.
Yeah.
This is enough data for us to know what to do. So like I was discharged, whatever, and he's like all the epileptologists, which is a neurologist that specializes in epilepsy.
Okay.
All of them, and then the other neurologists, neurosurgeons, they have conference or meetings on Mondays to go over other cases, and they went over my case, and they were like, it's the spot is too deep for us to know. For us to know where it is for you to have seizure, for you to have surgery.
Okay.
And they also said like it's in your occipital lobe.
That's eyes, right?
Yeah, so it's eyes.
That makes sense.
Yeah, totally. And so they were like, we're gonna do another surgery to really pinpoint.
Okay.
So May 2015, I'll never forget, May 21st, 2015. I go in for brain surgery, my first brain surgery. So it's a surgery where it's called subdural electrodes. So they put a grid of electrodes on my brain, like right on my brain, with 36 wires coming out. So I had 30. They basically shaved my head. Not really. They like put it up and inside my head on my wires were coming off my brain through my skull. And so my brain is getting a full blown real time thing.
Gotcha.
So
update, right? Like it would be like a satellite, like coming out of your brain.
No, it's just like an EEG that's connected to my brain.
Oh, okay.
So it's like when you get an EKG,
right?
With all that, but those things are sitting on
your
my
brain,
beneath my skull. So it was a craniotomy.
Okay.
It's my first craniotomy, which is.
Do you watch Grey's Anatomy ever? Do you like it?
Oh my God! If this happened to me when I was like 10, like I would be in the
medicine. Really?
Even though I sucked at I sucked at chem and all that crap.
Yeah.
I'm like, for some reason, I'm just like I've learned so much, and I have to research, like, especially with my book too, like.
Yeah.
That I that's why like this is. People are like, are you gonna cry? And I'm like, maybe a little, but like I love talking about it.
You're fascinated by it.
I remember I met Monica's husband.
Yeah.
And I've met him prior, but this summer when we were at your house, someone in his family had brain issues or neurological issues. And he was like asking someone questions, and I remember I was like, I could talk to you. Like, I know a lot about the brain.
Yeah.
And he asked me, like, he was like, I am fascinated. I was like, listen, you could ask me anything. Like, I am not.
Do you think like a part of your...
It's because I like
you like sharing, like you're passionate about the subject, aside from the fact that you have the disorder disease.
Yeah.
Like you're also just passionate about it.
Like, it's cathartic.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah,
Because
like,
you've learned so much.
Yeah.
You've gained, right, so much. And I don't want to get away from the timeline of what you were mentioning about the, like, when you had the craniotomy surgery, but I just think it's, like, worth noting is, like, there's so many strengths that you've, like, gained over the years that are very unique that other people don't have. And so, like, part of sharing your story is also utilizing those strengths, you know? But sorry, I kind of got us off topic. But
basically, so I was in the hospital with the things coming out of my head.
And that was your first surgery?
Yeah, that was my first surgery.
Yeah.
I had to, like, wipe myself down. I couldn't shower because I had shit coming out of my brain.
Yeah.
And that was, like, I had a thing coming down, like, that was connected to an EEG.
Okay. For how long?
31 days. Yeah, like, I didn't feel fresh air for 31 days. But, like, this is the other way I look at it. Like, so I was lucky enough to be at Jeff. I mean, until this happened to me, like, I had no idea how lucky we are to be in the Northeast. Like, I mean, I'm an hour and a half from Hopkins. I'm 2 hours from Columbia.
Yeah.
I'm so close to Penn. I'm so close to Jeff. Like, I got a lot of different opinions. Like,
yeah,
I have an account at Hopkins. I have an account at Jeff. I have an account at Mayo in Cleveland or in Rochester.
Really? Oh, okay.
I have an account at Stanford. Like, I've gotten...
So you have, like, the
I've
support.
had like, relationship, like because I just get second opinions, and even if you just do one opinion or one appointment, you get like an account, and I'm just like,
how has your relationship to medicine and doctors and getting opinions from professionals compared to how you trust your body? Like, I know people in the past who've dealt a lot with doctors are like, I don't trust doctors, or what's your relationship to medicine?
So it's actually like a really good question. In the beginning, I mean, they could tell me anything and I'd be like, I'll jump at it.
Just
but like,
do it.
Now it's like, at the end of the day, doctors are humans too. And like with our society about like, I'm learning now about everything things coming out about like food. It's like just like what we eat as I'm drinking a Coke. I mean, that's like, sorry. It will turn to shame.
Everyone has their fucking vices.
I can't drink, like, so I can have Coke.
100%.
It's so bad for me. But going back, like, I had that surgery in 2015, and I'm healthy, but like, I'm still like, it's not right. Like right now I'm doing well, but I've still had like so many complications. Like it's not like it's just been epilepsy. Like what the fuck is happening in my brain? Like, so if I go back to that time in the hospital, basically the same thing happened. I had to have seizures. They actually didn't have to sleep. Well, the first 2 weeks I didn't have anything. Not one aura, not one seizure, nothing. I wasn't on my medication, nothing. So my doctor is like, this is actually really common. I'm like, what? So your brain just shuts off? And he said, yeah. And then he came in and he's like, you have such a rare epilepsy. Like only people with epilepsy, only 4% have my type.
Wow.
So it's like Jeff is like it's a teaching hospital. So it's like Grace.
Yeah.
I mean, every morning there'd be like 15 others.
Yeah.
Ask me questions. I was like in a
Celeb.
museum. Like I was like, people asked me like I was like in a museum.
Wow.
Like, well, what do you see? What is this? You can see that like doctors were like fascinated, which is like kind of cool.
It is kind of
cool. If I'm gonna go through this, like
fuck yeah,
like,
a little bit of clout.
You think I'm crazy? Like you think I'm cool? Like you're literally a genius. Like, but at the end of the day, doctors are people, and like every doctor I've talked to, they say like they've never seen anything like this. They're like, we have no clue. So I'll get to that point, but basically the exact same thing happened with the second time I went in. I had the seizures, but okay, wait, let me get back to my doctor came in, he's like, you have such a rare epilepsy, and I'm teaching my neurology class about this, grad student or med students about epilepsy. Like this is it. Like wow. And he was like, 350 people, will you come? And I was like, yeah, I don't care. I'll speak in front of 350 people, but I swear to God, if I have a seizure off of this EKG and it doesn't count, I'm literally gonna kill you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I tell you,
no way.
They rolled me up to that fucking classroom, and they the opening to the classroom was like right here, and I'm just like waiting in a wheelchair with fucking things coming out of my head, and like there's probably good looking guys in there, and I look like I'm dying, and he faces like my nurse came with me, my mom, and two of the
EEG
technicians who I loved. They were like my best friends, and pulled my chair to face the window. I'm right outside the thing, and I looked, and I'm like, it's not gonna happen. I was like, it's coming. Like I was like, I'm not speaking. I basically said like, I'm not talking. Don't introduce me.
Wow.
I was like, it's coming.
Yeah.
And it was, my mom to this day said that was the worst seizure you ever had.
Did they catch it?
No. I was 3 buildings away. It didn't count. And my doctor like laughed, and I was like, did I not tell you?
Fuck you, dude.
Oh no. I still to this day like, give him shit for that.
Yeah.
But so then after that, like my brain kind of switched on and I started having seizures.
Right.
So January 15th, 16th, I go in for surgery because they have to take everything out.
Right.
So they take out all the stuff, they sew me up, and I came home like June 18th or 19th, and my hair was like just stuck in a bun. Like not even a bun, like, because this was all shaved.
Yeah.
So like this was all shaved. So I was like, what am I going to do? Like just have a shaved back head.
Right.
And I had like 2 zippers, like
Gotcha.
2 huge zippers in the back of my head.
Yeah.
That looked like that. So my mom just had all of my cousins over and aunts and uncles, and my cousins shaved my head on my patio.
Wow.
Then we found out when I was in the hospital that I couldn't have the removal surgery of like the piece. So the point of surgery is to remove the piece where your seizures are coming from.
Right.
That they said it's way too close to your left visual field. They said you will lose all of your left visual field. Even the left visual field, even in your right eye.
Okay.
So that's foreshadowing and ironic. Because as the years went on, well, I think that's the thing. It's just like you could just jump everywhere. Like I don't even know where to stop.
It's okay.
So then turns out I can't have the removal surgery. So there was an option where they could. It had been on the market since like 2008 or 2010, and it's a device. I explain it as a pacemaker for the brain.
Got it.
So
yeah.
So there's a grid, like there's electrodes on the spot where my seizures come from, like that just sit on my brain right now, that are connected to a neuropace.
Yep.
Like here, it's called neuropace. It's a neurostimulator. So anytime it can detect when a seizure's coming.
Oh wow.
And when it detects that, it stops them from coming.
Wow.
It sends electrical stimulation to that part of my brain. It stops it.
And you still have it in?
Yeah. So since, I would say, honestly, since I've had this in, I think I've had like less than 5 full seizures. Wow.
And
so,
how many auras?
Oh, that's the thing. I go through periods where I have cluster auras.
Yeah.
For like 5 days or whatever. But I've had like a couple big seizures since then. But I mean, it really, the complications that I've ran into in the tail end of all of this has really been my bleeds. Like, so in 2016, I had to transfer to Temple so I could get my college degree, and I'm still pissed that I had to like Temple's great and all, but like I went to Alabama. Like I wanted to
a lot of pride in Roll Tide.
And like it makes me mad. Like even thinking about it now, like watching Alabama football, I'm just like, I'm still so pissed I don't have a freaking.
You want to have your degree from Alabama,
but I don't want to go back to school.
Right.
But just like give it to me.
Right.
Like I mean, I was 2 months away.
But to me, like when I think about you, and I've known you for so long, like I think you identify as Alabama. You are more Alabama than somebody who has a degree, graduated from Alabama. Does that make sense? So like,
So
I don't even know that you fucking graduated. You can just stop. Just don't even tell people that.
Yeah,
you know,
right?
nothing, no shade to Temple at all. But like, if that's what you want to identify with, fuck yeah. You as far as I'm concerned, you graduated from Alabama.
Yeah, I graduated from Alabama.
Yeah.
So what was that? What were we saying?
What were we saying? The things that are tough now, the brain bleeds.
Yeah, so I'm getting to my first one.
Yeah.
So then they implanted the RNS in July of 2015.
Okay.
They didn't turn it on until September of 2015.
Why?
Because they were like, we just need to make sure that your body accepts it.
Okay.
Like if your body rejects it, like you could have a reaction to. Like a lot of people reject like breast implants.
Right. Okay.
Like it's like your body will react to all of this different thing. So they're like, we don't turn it on for at least 2 months.
Yeah.
So they turned it on. I ended up having, I think, 2 seizures towards the end of the year. And then
2 like grand mal.
Yeah, 2 full. I had one I was actually at the U.S. Open with my mom.
Wow.
And we were watching Azarenka. And we sat down, got up to take a picture, sat right down. I said, Mom, it's coming. I ran up the concourse and just like laid down right in like the tunnel coming from the outside. Like,
what's the timeline from when you get the aura to lights out?
So average, like when I'm gonna have a full seizure, I mean, it could be anywhere from a minute to 10 minutes. But then there's some that like an aura by itself with no full seizure could last 45 minutes.
Oh my God. And the anxiety.
And that's like worse. To me, that's worse.
I was going to say.
Like sometimes I wake up from a full seizure and I'm like, oh, I'm happy I had it.
It's over.
Yeah, like it's over and maybe.
Got it.
Like when you have a full one, like your brain kind of calms down after. Like for mine, at least. So it's like, I'm like, oh, that's a relief. Like,
right. Because it's like ripping the Band-Aid off almost.
And it's like I probably won't have one for or I probably won't have another aura because it went to the full.
Right.
It's like.
Right.
I never know that when I'm having an aura, I never know if I'm having the aura because another big one wants to come.
Right.
Like, it's a lot of mind.
It's a lot of many mind fucks.
It's so many mind fucks. So my third surgery in July when I got the neurostimulator put in.
Right.
I had a couple seizures that fall. And then at Temple in April of 2016, I was like just in class and my left eye, like all of a sudden it was just like glassy. Like I couldn't, like it was just like, I know I'm in the camera or whatever, but it was like just like a shiny glass thing like that I was hallucinating on the left side of my eye. And I'm just like, what the fuck is this? There's no color. Like usually there's color. Like I know that there's, I had never had something that wasn't colorful. It was like, like when the sun goes through a water bottle or something.
Yeah.
Like you can just, like right here. Like if you look at that water bottle, isn't it weird?
Yes.
Like that. It
Through
was
that. It was glassy.
It's like glassy. So
yeah.
I'm like, what the hell's happening? Then I get a crazy headache. And I went to the hospital and they found a bleed. And my brain was bleeding.
From what?
Dude, we still don't know. And so then I go in for an angiogram. Now, mind you, I've had, I think, 9 of these angiograms now.
What is that?
An angiogram is they put a IV and they put a dye through your veins, your blood vessels. So when you have so your blood vessels basically light up.
Yeah.
And in your groin, now they do it through the wrist, but in their groin, they put a catheter through your main artery, the biggest artery in your body, a little camera all the way to the top, and take pictures and look at your brain.
Wow.
An angiogram. And you're not fully out.
No way.
I remember looking at but you can't feel anything.
Right.
But you're kind of in and out. And I'm just like, this is crazy.
Wow.
So when they went back in with the angiogram, they couldn't find anything, which is bizarre because there was something there. But then years later, we can go in between the 2016, but honestly, 2017, 2018, 2019, those were great years. I would say they're great. I mean, COVID really fucked everything up because 2019, I was
feeling good.
I was in the city. I was confident to reach out to people. I had people at my apartment.
Yeah.
I was just I was really coming to my own. Then COVID hit. Ran right back home with my entire family, all 8 of us in the house.
Wow.
And then end of 2014 or end of 2020, didn't have COVID, not once. And then I'll never forget it. I'm with my mom and I'm like, I have the worst headache I think I had ever had, and the whole thing was happening. The glass, the left visual field was turning to glass, and it was it got to the point where I started throwing up, and for 5 hours I was puking, and I was like, Mom, this is not normal. We've got to go to the hospital. Yeah. And at that time, hospitals were insane. They were so packed. Oh my God. You couldn't do anything. So I was like, where are you gonna go? Yeah. And I said, let's go to. I had because of this bleed in 2016 and because of my vision, I go to a neuro-ophthalmologist. Okay. Who's specializes in ophthalmology of the brain. So so I was like, let's just go to Will's Eye. Yeah. It's connected to Jeff, but there's an ER at the eye hospital. So I was like, let's just go to Will's Eye. Yeah. So the ER will be so much lighter, whatever. So we go, and luckily there's one person there, and they were chill about COVID. They let my family come back. Wow. Which was
unheard of at this time.
So I'm triaging, and I'm like, listen, I'm having a brain bleed. You need to get me into the CT. So we're just chilling, and not just chilling. They give us a room and then bring me back to get a CT scan. And I will legit never. It was shit out of a movie. My mom took me, and then Jacka was in the city, so she met my mom because my mom was freaking out. Yeah. So I go get a CT scan. I come out, and the nurse sits me in a separate room. And she said, I just want you to know you had a stroke. And I was like, wait, what? I was like, I'm freaking 20. How old am I? 32? I was like
27?
27, 28. I was like, how the hell did I have a stroke? But like, I knew it.
Yeah.
So like, I wasn't like that shocked. I was like, oh, okay. Like at this point, I'm like, okay, great, I have a stroke. Like,
right.
And she sat me down. She said, in 1 minute, there are going to be 20 people around you, and it's about to be mayhem in like actually like 30 seconds. So then I go out to my mom and my sister in an open bed where they're sitting, and the nurse brings me and she sits me down and she tells my mom exactly what she told me. She just wanted to tell me first. And she said, in about 10 seconds, there are going to be 20 people around your daughter, and it's going to be so loud, you won't be like, it's a code blue. So I was like, holy shit. When I tell you, there were people coming from the fucking ceiling. I mean, it was absolutely wild. They had nurses doing this. They had nurses at the end of my thing. The freaking alarm starts going off.
Shut up.
Stroke alert, 20, code blue, stroke alert. I look up at the nurse. I was like, that's for me? Like, and she's like, yes, it's for you. This is code blue. And I'm like, oh my God. I was like, so I turned to my mom and I'm like, oh my God, I'm dying. Like,
oh my God.
And my mom and my sister just freaking like both fell to their knees, like bawling. I could see them because I started like, I'm honestly like not afraid of, I wasn't afraid to get surgeries. Like,
yeah,
I was more afraid to seize.
Right.
Like that's how it's crazy.
Right.
But the stroke, that like freaked me out. Like that was freaking wild.
So had,
and then they couldn't do anything. Like there's nothing to really do when you have a stroke.
Right. Were you having a stroke in that moment, or had you had the stroke before?
No, I was having like it in the moment.
You were currently having it.
I still couldn't see.
Gotcha.
So I still don't like, I believe it was a bleeding stroke.
Okay.
There's like an ischemic stroke and a hemorrhagic stroke.
Okay. Yeah.
One's bleeding, one's blockage.
Got it.
I assume that mine's bleeding.
Was bleeding, right? Yeah.
Because I had bled already.
Right.
So
right.
I was in the hospital. They just wanted to monitor it because they were like, it's like so I went in for a CT like every hour.
What was the hustle and bustle about? What were they doing?
I don't really like. It was just. I honestly don't even remember.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you were also mid-stroke, right?
Yeah,
so like obviously there's things to do.
They were just monitoring. I mean, the stroke doctor from Jeff came over and he just sat by me for like they would do neuro tests. Like, can you see my finger? Like, can you talk? Like, because you might lose your. They wanted to make sure it didn't go to any other part of my brain. If I would lose motor skills, or if I could like slurring my words, and they would. I don't really. There was really nothing they could do.
Yeah.
And then, like, went home, but my brain was swelled for so long. Like that part of my brain was double the size.
Yeah.
So
what were your symptoms?
Every single night at like starting around 7 to 8, the headaches I would get because it was basically my brain was
pushing against your skull.
Was pushing against my skull.
Yeah.
And you felt like it is freaking wild. The headache, honestly, the headaches I got after my stroke were probably worse than the headache I got after my first brain surgery. And after that brain surgery, they don't give you pain meds.
Why?
Until you get an MRI, they don't give you pain meds because they want to make sure motor skills.
Yeah.
They want to make sure like nothing is happening in my brain. So they want me like that pain, but then this stroke pain was like, and the recovering from my stroke lasted. So I had it in, when did I have it? December 2020. I hadn't been probably like headache free from my strokes until April.
Wow.
Like recovering from that was like so long.
How does experiencing that level of pain change you?
For the good, my pain.
Or bad.
My pain, honestly, all of it, my pain level's gone up, obviously.
Pain tolerance.
Pain tolerance has gone up. But for the worse, I'm like, it's like hard for me to, like not hard, but sometimes I'm like if someone's going, I was like, okay, like you're fine.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
Because you've experienced such a severe like example or like a severe case of pain and sickness that like, does it feel lonely? Because there's not many people that have also experienced this level of pain.
I mean, sometimes, yeah. It feels lonely to think that way. Like, it's like no one really thinks that way. But I'm like...
It feels lonely to think that way.
It's just hard. Sometimes, I told my mom, I was like, Mom, sometimes like it's just hard to be like empathetic.
Yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily think that that's even a bad thing, right? Because like there are Yeah, I don't think that's a bad thing
Well,
to
I mean,
not be able to have.
On the one time, it's like if anyone should know, like if I'm very open to people that like I've met over the years, like a lot of people have know my like in the epilepsy, whatever, know my story, or like my dad meets some random person, like introduce, and I've talked to a lot of people
Who have epilepsy
too, because they're at the stage where they might need surgery.
Yeah.
And they're like, should I do it?
Yeah.
Like, should I get the neurostimulator? Like, I've met a lot of people on the, so like in that aspect,
right.
I'm like empathetic. Like when someone asks me for their help or anything like that, like I put myself back in those shoes and I'm like, okay, you need to, like she's, like I kind of put myself in their shoes to be understanding.
Yeah.
But like, I'm just kind of numb to things.
Well, maybe that's not where you're supposed to be. Like you're not supposed to be in the space where you're empathizing with people who like have that kind of pain, because it's not the pain that you are like an expert in, you know. That's just not where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Where you're supposed to be is with these people because they need you. That's the other thing, is like they need you. So I absolutely love, like, and I feel like so lucky to have you even just talking about this, and we're definitely at some point going to have you come back, because like I feel like we've just
I hope people get
scratched
questions.
the surface. People 100%. But I think like to close this out, you know, as you're sharing your story, I'm thinking a lot about relationships, and like I can imagine that having epilepsy would be like such an isolating thing, because it's like you and you're going through it alone. But it sounds like you have like strengthened relationships with people in your life. So like, who are the people who are like your angels, your ride or die, that have like been through you, or sorry, been with you through this?
I mean, without a doubt, my family.
Really?
Even my extended family.
Really?
Like I'm on my dad's side, I'm like, there's like 20, I can't even count. There's like 20 cousins or something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, there's like the older kids and then the younger kids, and I'm like right in the middle. So I'm probably the best cousin. Like, sorry guys, but like both sides, I talk to both ages kind of.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, I had a visitor in the hospital every single day.
Wow.
There was not one day I didn't have a visitor, whether it was an aunt, uncle. No, there wasn't a night no one slept over.
Wow.
My mom slept over almost every single night.
Wow.
Alex came over. Alex slept over. I mean, even my godmother, my Aunt Sandy. I mean, honestly, I didn't really realize how incredible my family was until until the night I had the seizure at Georgia on Pine, because Jacka was in the city, and I was calling her. I had Hannah call her. I was like, Hannah, call Jacka in the middle of my seizure. Call Jacka.
Yeah. And
Jacka's on the phone with me saying, Tor, it's going to be okay. I'm running to you. And that was just like to me, like I woke up and then she came to, and then I was like, Jack, I kind of want to stay for dinner. Like I want to stay with my friends. Like I have to stay. And like the ambulance left. Yeah. I walked into Georgia on Pine and Jacka's sitting next to me. And she's like, okay, I'm gonna come to dinner. She's like, you should stay, but like I'm coming to dinner. I was like, okay. No. But Jenna was like, no one cared. But I mean, I was like walked down the whole table, and like I could feel every single person's eyes on me. Like I had just was screaming bloody murder.
Yeah,
Jacka, like about to have a seizure. And like a couple days later, Hannah said like, wow, Jacka's just unbelievable. Like I cannot believe she came to you, and like she just dropped her going out with her friends and she came right to you. And I never really thought of it like, wow. It was just so part, like, I mean, it was like the 5th year, 6th year into it. Like, that was just so part of my family's life. That, like,
but then someone on the outside looking in makes you realize, like, oh, this is pretty special.
Realize, I mean, that's the part that's hard. It's like, you know you're a burden. Like, not, but I don't mean to say that as like, oh my God, like, as like I did earlier. But I mean, it's true. Like, it changes in it. Like, when a family member has cancer, like, it changes the entire family.
Yeah.
Forever. Like,
and it's hard
to see somebody go through that. Like, that's why my mom and my family always say, like, thank God it was you. They're like, because if it was Jacka or Alex or Billy, like, we would be having to take care of you and Billy and Alex, because you wouldn't be able to handle this. Like, my mom's like, you're stronger as the sick person than you would be, like, watching someone sick.
Wow.
And I'm like, that's so
that's
true. Like, I say it all the time. I'm like, thank God it was me. Because, like, if my mom gets the sniffle, I'm like, do you have pneumonia? Like, I'm crazy.
Yeah, because you're like, I can handle this.
I can handle it. I'll be fine. Like, I can wake up.
Yeah, you're where do you get your like positive attitude from? I've always known I've always known that about you as it relates to like you, and when you talk about epilepsy, like you're just so positive. And it's not to say that you're not real. Like you can sit here and talk about the fact that your struggles with being a burden, right? But your acceptance of it and your positive outlook while also being realistic is like really a strength of yours. Like where do you get that?
I don't really know.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I did, like, in the beginning, I was like, I need to, like, find some mottos to, like, live by. You know, not, like, live by, but just, like, sometimes I was always, like, everything happens for a reason type of person.
Yeah.
But that thing with when my brother said
Yeah.
that, you only, like, that just, like, sometimes someone just stabs you and, like,
Yeah.
and wakes you up. And then I remember my cousin Erin texted me, and I was, like, really upset about my scars on my head and my hair. And she said, I have tattoos, but she said, your scars are your, what was it? Your scars are your journey's tattoo or something like that.
Wow. Like a tattoo with a story.
Yeah, a tattoo of your, your scars are your, yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
You people probably know what it is. It's a quote. And then the other one was, God only gives us what we can handle, and apparently God thinks you're a badass. And I was like, okay, I like that one.
Yeah, I'm going to take that one.
So, and I was just like, kind of in the beginning, I was like, this is just the card I was dealt. And at the end of the day, like, having perspective, like, I see people on, there's like a Facebook for people with epilepsy. It's called, like, My Epilepsy Network. And I have, like, a group, I mean, people, like, talk on there, and, I mean, there are people in, like, the middle of America that are 4 hours away from the closest shitty hospital. Wow. Like, there are people that have been battling, like, at the end of the day, like, I had family, I had support.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It could be worse. It could be way worse. And
that's your power right there. That's.
Yeah, it's like kind of perspective. Like, I'm lucky. I don't have to struggle financially. Like, I mean, we got a bill in the mail. Luckily, my dad's insurance, it was like $1.7 million.
Wow. Yeah.
For my stay. And that wasn't even paying the doctors.
Yeah. That.
I mean, the insurance covered it, but like, it's just freaking crazy. Like, it could be worse.
And so those are the mottos that you really like live by and that you embody. And so that is like how you're still who you are today. But dude, thank you so much for coming on the show. And like I said, like, there's so much that we can take and like learn from your fucking story. And I have a million questions that I'm probably gonna ask you on the drive home.
Yeah, that's fine.
But like, yeah, thank you so much.
Oh my God, this was great. I cannot believe it was.
I can't believe it. Yeah.
Is this the way podcasting is? Where like you just talk and all of a sudden it's done.
Yeah, you literally like black out.
Like, oh my God, 60 minutes.
I know, 60 minutes.
It feels like I'm in surgery. Like, I literally had a 9-hour surgery.
Yeah.
My first surgery was 9 hours. I went out like when I got anesthesia, and I woke up and I'm like, oh my God, like that was 20 minutes.
That was 2 seconds.
That was 20 minutes. And they're like, no, you were under for 9 hours.
Right.
So I'm like, what the?
Well, that's how everyone's going to feel. You can just like clock out, put us on when you're on a long drive, and 90 minutes and you're there. So thanks for joining us. Y'all are fucking great. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
Peace.